You're listening to Top 10 with Stu and Ben. Welcome back, Ben. It's a new week.
It is a new week.
I'm real excited for this one.
Me too.
This week, we're talking about top 10 animals. Animals, Ben. This is big.
I love animals.
A lot of requests for this episode.
We listen to the people and give them what they want.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Top 10 animals. But before we get to the list, obviously, we have our segment that we all so love. First, the worst. First, the worst. So before we get into the top 10, let's air some grievances. Ben, I think you're controlling first the worst this week. So what is the worst animal?
Deer. So you're driving late at night.
It's something I do.
Deer are horrifying.
They do. They love to just stand there right by the road.
They're mindless, soulless creatures.
I don't know where the soulless part comes in. I think you said this last week, too.
You look into those eyes. I did. You look into those eyes, and there's nothing going on. There is nothing in their brain that's stopping them from running out in front of your car and just like ruining your month. There's no thought process behind anything they do. Anything.
Have you ever hit a deer?
No, but I've been pretty darn close. Here's a story for you. I went to McDonald's one time, 1 a.m.
One of those late night runs?
Yep. 2 McRibs.
What? You got Ben.
McRibs
Hold on.
This is a whole different argument. McRibs are fantastic.
No.
Don't you dare slander McRibs.
You deserve whatever deer you possibly hit if you're going to McDonald's at 1 a.m. to get McRibs.
So 2 McRibs.
2 of them.
A large fry.
Who needs 2?
Me, Stuart. I need 2 McRibs. So I got 2 McRibs, a large fry, and a Sprite. Large Sprite. I'm coming back.
A Sprite?
Yep. McDonald's Sprite?
I can't get behind Sprite.
I forgot you're a wrestler. You do all sorts of weird stuff with your food and diet.
Well, no.
I have to stay under 98 pounds.
No. Okay, outside of that, even I don't like Sprite. I don't think Sprite... Who wants Sprite?
Me.
Of all the sodas you could get, why Sprite? Okay, continue. You're getting your McRibs and Sprite from McDonald's because at 1 a.m. you decided you need those.
Yep, so I'm alone in my car.
Oh, and you did it alone?
Yep. Oh, yeah,
this keeps getting worse.
So I'm alone. So I set the bag. I get the bag. Well, thank you. Set it in my passenger seat. I'm driving back to Olivet.
You showed restraint. You didn't immediately start eating your McRibs there?
Correct. I wasn't that hungry. I was pretty hungry, not that hungry.
You weren't even that hungry?
Nope.
You went and did this all...
I was on a scale of what so I'd have to be like a 9 or a 10 to start eating it in the drive-thru. Like, that's pretty hungry. But I was like a 7 or an 8. I was pretty hungry.
Oh, my God. You decided to go get 2 McRibs, and you were only a 7 or 8 on hungry scale.
Exactly. McRibs are fantastic. We can have this discussion another time. So I'm driving, highways under construction, taking the back roads. Deer jumps out in front of my car, this thing goes flying in front of my car for no reason. Like, basically runs right at my headlight. I step on the brake, hardest I've ever stepped on the brakes before. I can hear my back tires screeching. The deer runs past, I don't hit it. My food goes flying everywhere. I lost everything. The McRibs came flying out of the containers. The fries were all over my car. The drink didn't spill. Trusty cup holders. I lost everything.
You couldn't salvage any of it?
Maybe a couple of fries were left in the container.
Oh.
There was barbecue sauce on my floor mats. I was so mad. And it was all because of a stupid deer. So now what I do, and this isn't a joke, I buckle my food in every time I get food for that reason alone.
In case
just like a passenger,
rogue deer.
like it's an infant in my front seat. I buckle it in.
Are you putting your infants in the front seat?
Well, you know.
Reckless.
It is a little bit.
Reckless father.
I'm only 20, not a dad yet. But
I'm not going to say you deserve what you get for having decided to order 2 McRibs at 1 a.m. alone, nonetheless. But I think you had that coming in a way. So you're big. Are you a big proponent of hunting then?
I've never hunted before.
But you're okay with. You're glad that people go out there.
Absolutely, venison's pretty good. I've had venison before.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, but when they're alive, I can't stand them.
All right. Okay.
Do you have a first to the worst?
No, we'll just stick with deer.
Okay.
We'll leave that to you.
I have one more too.
Oh gosh.
Most bugs.
Are you considering bugs animals?
Oh yeah. They're alive.
Bugs are insects. Are insects animals? Insects are considered animals. Wow.
Ben gets it right again.
Okay. Ben, on a roll. Okay. Most bugs.
Yeah, just any bug. There's so many out there. I hate them.
So,
spiders, ants,
bugs.
Anything you can think of.
Bugs and deer. First, the
bugs
worst.
and deer.
You hate them. I'm learning a lot about you right now, Ben.
We've learned a lot about each other over the course of this podcast.
Yeah.
I chew gum as much as I can around you now just because I know you hate it.
Okay. Let's get to the list. No more of this first the worst. Let's get to the things we like.
Yes, let's do that.
In the past, we've done separate lists. Then we did just Stuart doing the list, and people hated that. Then we did a draft style, and that was okay. But when we did it live, it was like we didn't get to the countdown, and it just wasn't quite the same. It was like a count up, and then it's like, where's the suspense?
No suspense.
So prior to this episode's recording, we did a draft, and now we're working back through it. So,
We're going to go 10-1 on the draft. So we hit the draft aspect, but there's still a countdown.
and
suspense.
so it's like a collaborative list
It
between
is.
the two of us.
Number 10.
Ducks. Let me tell you why. One, ducks are just so funny. Just ducks. Oh, by the way, before we even get into this, let me talk about what I was looking at
Okay.
when
your criteria?
deciding. Yeah, my criteria.
Okay.
Cuteness. That's a big one.
Yes.
Because if it's cute, I'm going to love it. Most of these start with C. Coolness. So we got cuteness and coolness. Pretty subjective, but there's some objectivity to it. You can't deny. Capacity for destruction. Is this animal? Can it do some damage? I want to know. That makes an animal way more interesting. And then miscellaneous, if there's just something that's like
Something cool. Yep.
something cool. So ducks, one, they're doing well on the cuteness scale. Ducklings, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, they're absolutely adorable. The thing about ducks, though, that is just so funny to me. Ducks can do everything. They can do everything.
Everything?
They can do everything, Ben. Listen to this.
Everything.
Ducks can fly.
Yeah.
Ducks can swim.
Yeah.
Ducks can walk.
Yeah.
Ducks are omnivores. So they'll eat plants and they'll eat meat. So they're hunters.
So they will eat and do anything.
They will eat and do anything, but they are terrible at all of it. Like they're not very good at flying. They're like okay, but no one's like you never see like
What are they, Air Force pilots? If you can fly, you can fly.
no, that's not true. Like you seen an eagle soars.
This isn't Top Gun, but
An eagle soars. A duck just kind of just fly. Like they're like okay, they're not even like the best flyers of the birds. They're swimming pretty lackluster. They're walking just garbage. They're not. That's not. They're no good at that. They're hunting. How's a duck gonna hunt? They do it, but how are they gonna do it?
I'll tell you what, Stuart, they can swim and they can fly better than me, so
Well, I would
Props
hope
to
so. Yeah. So
No,
I mean, they're a jack of all trades, master of none. But you know what? They do everything. They're cute. That's enough reason for me to put them at number 10. You can get behind that.
I can get behind that, yeah. I like the argument that ducklings are cute. I was thinking of like full grown like mallards.
Well, you got to think about that. I mean, mallards are like funny enough. They're like goofy.
Yeah.
They sit there and they eat bread and they quack. What is that about?
It is a weird noise.
How did evolution decide that was an quack quack? Like that's like their actual noise.
It is. No, I get it. Yeah.
They just go around making that chirping it up with that.
Yeah.
So that's ducks, number 10.
Number 9.
Tigers.
Tigers.
And this is for two big reasons. So I like you. I had kind of a criteria in my head. How do I want to base this? I worded it a little bit different than you did. My ideology was how much do I want to hug this animal? Right? Not necessarily how cute they are. How much do I want to hug this animal? Do I want to cuddle with this thing?
Like even if it's like not a good idea,
Yes.
like do you want to?
No, like even if it would cause serious bodily harm
Like, even if
to me.
experts would recommend don't do that.
Correct.
But you're just like, oh man,
Correct.
How can I even resist?
Gotta hug. Like, yes, a tiger would definitely eat me alive if I just walked up to it and gave it a big hug. But
You wanna?
it would be worth it. Hugging a tiger would be worth the death experience. If that's the last thing I did before I died, I'd be fine with that.
So if you're like 80, you've lived a good life. You've decided like it's time.
If I'd accomplished everything, if I was like, if the doctors came to me and they were like, hey, terminally ill, like you have like a week, I would spend that week finding a wild tiger and hugging it.
How can I get to a tiger ASAP?
Yep. Exactly.
How can I get my arms around it?
They are so cute. The best big cat out there.
That's bold. It's a bold state. There's a lot of big cats. Okay. The best big cat?
Yeah. There's also the Detroit Tigers. So that's another
that's the
big reason.
second
That
reason?
is absolutely a reason. People are probably not going to like that. That's a reason, but that's a reason.
Well, you said there's two main criteria or like two main reasons that you chose tigers. Was that the second one?
Oh, I mean for the tiger specifically. So like the first criteria was how much do I want to hug it, and then the other things, kind of like you said, like is there something cool about it? Is there something unique about it? Like stuff like that. So
Tigers.
tigers.
I guess I can get down with that.
The stripes are so cool too. They look cool. They look like they want to kill everything. which again probably isn't a good thing for my hugging.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they're like really not that particular about what they're going after.
No, they just want to kill.
Tigers will mess you up, man.
They will.
Number 8.
Polar bears. So this, I mean, one, on my cuteness scale, that's pretty high. I mean, it's just like, they're so big, but they're just like these big, like white, like fluff balls. And like, they just have the Coca-Cola polar bear.
Yes.
I mean, he just looks like a big friendly guy.
Yep.
The kind of guy you want to hang out with on the weekends. I mean, on your hugging scale, like, yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, I would hug the Coca-Cola polar bear.
But then if I'm going back to capacity for destructions, polar bears will mess you up. And they will not even think twice about it, Ben.
They are horrible.
Yeah, the polar bears are one of a very small group of animals that will actively hunt humans. Yep. Like, there's not many animals left that, like, they'll try to work us into their diet. But no, polar bears 100% will.
Yeah.
They don't often kill people just because their natural habitats don't really overlap with humans. But if they do come in contact with us, they will mess you up.
Just treat us like prey.
It's
scary.
Yeah. No, if you ever heard like one of those nature people talk and they're like, oh, these animals, they're more scared of you than we are of them. Like, oh, if you leave them alone, things will be fine. That is not the case with polar bears.
Nope.
They don't care. They're not scared of us. You heard the saying, like when people talk about if it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, say goodnight. Like,
yep.
There's
That's
like,
why.
You don't have a chance. Nope. If you come in contact with a polar bear and it wants to get you, you're screwed. They will seek you out and they will get you. And they're absolutely massive, Ben. I have some stats. Male polar bears usually weigh up to 1,500 pounds. And they stand nearly 10 feet tall when they're on their hind legs. But record male, like the biggest one, which was shot in Alaska in the 60s, it was over a ton. It was 2,200 pounds. And it stood 12 feet tall. That's higher than a basketball hoop, but it's still so huggable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's polar bears for me.
Number 7.
Orcas. This is very similar to what you said about polar bears. They're so menacing and evil. Like, it's terrifying.
Oh, they're smart.
They are so smart. They will, so like if they, I don't know if I'm sure you've seen the videos, if there is like a seal or like any type of prey laying on an iceberg, like a chunk of ice in the middle of water, they will coordinate themselves like swimming by, and they'll like swim near the surface so it creates waves to push the prey off of the ice so that they can kill it.
Oh, they're just so powerful and deadly on their own. Then they work in groups,
Yep.
And they're so incredibly smart. Like, they're about the most dangerous animal you could have in the water. If they want to get you, if they are like have a goal, they will get it.
They will find a way.
Dude, Ben, have you ever heard this? Orcas? So, like, people think of, like, scary animals in the ocean. They think great white shark. Like, that's the first one that comes to your mind. You're thinking, what's menacing? A great white shark. Orcas, they'll kill the great white sharks, and they'll only eat the liver. They like, that's all they want. They're, like, so confident they can go get food, they'll just choose the one part of the shark that they want, and they'll leave the rest. They don't even care.
Yeah, they're horrifying. They're horrifying.
They're beautiful. They're
Yes.
graceful. And they're smart, but they're also, just horrifyingly, it's scary how smart they are and what they're capable of.
Number 6.
Goats.
See, this one I don't get. They just sit there and they don't. What do they do, Stuart? Explain to me why you.
Well,
explain to me.
evolution. That's just so funny. That again, like going back to the ducks quacking, like that's the sound that they've come up with.
Why? Why is that the sound of all sounds?
They had millions of years to come up with that, and that's what.
Goats could speak English, but no, they just like.
I don't think those were the two options they had. I don't think it was like one or the other.
Yeah, it
They
is.
chose-
They could have.
It wasn't English or baying, and they chose bah. No, but before you start going off about why goats aren't that interesting,
Please explain it.
goats are such a wild thing. They're such a spectrum. Okay, just think about it. One, goats are adorable. So let's get the cuteness scale out of here.
Yeah.
Baby goats. Oh my gosh, what goats do and how we utilize goats is so funny to me. We milk goats. We have goat's milk. Why? Why do we need goat's milk? I don't know, but we have it. It's available. You ever seen the videos of goats like they get startled and they just collapse?
Okay, yeah, those are funny. They
Those
like
are funny.
freeze and like fall over.
How did that thing survive in the wild long
Yeah.
enough to where it sees something that scares it and it collapses? So we got that into the spectrum on goats. So that's like funny enough. But then, like I said, it's a spectrum. So we have that in, and then we have goats that just freaking climb mountains.
Are you referring to mountain goats?
I'm referring to mountain goats. You ever seen those?
Oh yeah.
They're just on the side of like a cliff,
Yeah,
and they're
they
just hanging out there. You ever seen the pictures of goats just hanging out in trees? They'll just be up in the tree branches. How do they have hooves, Ben? How do you climb a tree with hooves?
They found a way.
How do you climb
I
a
guess.
mountain with hooves? They don't have thumbs. I couldn't climb a mountain, and I have like appendages and fingers that work and are meant to grab things. I come from a line of monkeys. Like our ancestors were able to climb things, and I can't do that. But goats with hooves that walk on all fours, they can climb trees and mountains. That is enough of a reason to get them into the number 6 spot.
Number 5.
Number 5, cows. And this is for one reason and one reason only. Cheeseburgers.
That's kind of morbid.
It is.
The only you put this animal, like we're talking about how cute animals are, how much we love them, how much we want to hug them, and your reason for this one is that you just love to eat a hamburger and cheeseburger.
I don't think I could ever hug a cow.
Why couldn't you?
I mean, I could. I just don't know that I necessarily
I feel like that'd be a lot easier to hug than some of these other animals on the
want
list.
to. It'd be easier. It's more realistic, but like they're kind of dirty.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie to you though. When I was thinking about this list, I was like, I might put cows on because I just love milk, I love cheese,
Exactly.
and I absolutely love beef.
The food that comes from cows is fantastic. Kind of like how we talked about deer. When they're dead, you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. You can mount them. You can make them into food. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. You can you got the fur. There's same thing with cows. Like you have cows so that you can milk them and then kill them.
I don't know if they kill the milking cows or they might have separate types.
Well, I mean, you have to eventually, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a farmer.
I mean, the cows they milk are like the moms that give birth.
I'm sure they're just as tasty as the men.
Were you one of those kids that thought chocolate milk comes from brown cows?
No, were you?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't a fool.
Stuart, don't lie to me.
What do I look like? I'm not.
Okay.
Ben,
I believe you.
knock it off.
I believe you. So yes, that is my reasoning. Is cows taste fantastic. The meat, the cheese, the milk.
Number 4.
Imagine a bird. Our birds already are not like particularly cool. But now imagine that you take its primary skill away. Flight. That's what birds are known for. But now this bird can't do that. Now, throw it into like the harshest environment in the world. Just cold, freezing Antarctic. Also, it can't walk that well. It mainly just waddles. And it just looks so silly. You imagine this? That works. All those things, those are real. That's a penguin. Penguins are number 4.
Penguins are another one that I would just hug the living daylight out of.
Just get a handful of them.
Just like 4 or 5 of them. Just really bring it in, guys. Like Madagascar.
Oh, you like the penguins of Madagascar?
Love the penguins of Madagascar.
Oh my gosh.
I just love penguins. If you wouldn't have picked this in our draft, I would have picked this one.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Oh man, the penguins, they just barely make it work. Like they're, emperor penguins, like the penguin people think about.
They can get relatively big too.
I
I think a lot of times people think of penguins as like kind of like smaller, like
they can get big.
yeah.
Ancient penguins, like extinct ones, could get up to 5 feet.
Yeah.
I know people that aren't 5 feet. Imagine a penguin walking up and towering over you. But emperor penguins, they experience about 90% mortality rate in their first year. They're not very good at this whole survival thing.
No, I guess not.
Like only 10% of them are getting through.
Yikes.
The rest are slipping on ice and busting their head open. Or
Is that like a predatory thing? Like, are they getting eaten? Is it starvation?
I think it's a mixture of both. But
Okay.
like leopard seals, they'll just have their day. They'll mess with those penguins. They don't care. They'll get them like it's candy. Orcas don't mess a penguin up. They don't care.
People say not to play with your food, but
A lot of
there are some
animals love to
that
do
play
it.
with your food. Yeah.
Penguins, man. There's something else. They're also kind of weirdly like they're really good swimmers. Experts have observed them diving up to almost 1,800 feet deep. That's really far. That's almost a quarter mile. So they're good at that. And according to an unreliable source I found, penguins cause about 7 deaths per year.
Cause?
Yeah. About 7 people die per year.
How do you imagine? Oh,
So, I mean,
how embarrassing would that be?
in your
death, cause of death, penguin.
in your obituary, they say, yeah,
The penguin got
taken
to
out
him.
by a flock of penguins.
Yeah.
7 deaths per year.
That's
So,
strange.
in terms of capacity for destruction,
I mean,
they're doing like okay. They're not
yeah.
doing half bad.
Yeah, no,
That's pretty solid.
that's interesting.
Another thing about them, I mean, like they're so cute. Like we said, we'd love to hug them, and that's not the only. So they're cute physically, but also there's cute things they do. Like for one thing, some species of penguins they mate for life. Isn't that adorable? They don't get around. Other animals, like, the male might just try to be with as many women as possible, further the gene pool or whatever. No, penguins, they choose their soulmate. That's freaking adorable, Ben.
It's also depressing that a penguin out there has probably found its soulmate before I have, but...
Well, okay. Well, I didn't know this was the Ben Pity Party show.
No, that's very interesting. That penguins can also recognize one penguin as, like...
Yeah, isn't that wild? I couldn't
their
tell.
penguin.
I couldn't tell two penguins apart, but they apparently can.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, dogs. What are you shaking He's over there shaking his head. Like, dogs aren't man's best friend.
Well, it just seems like a bit of a cheat. I'm going to be honest with you.
Do you want me to give you, like, a couple specific breeds of dogs?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you say dogs, that'd be like...
Domesticated house pet dogs.
Yeah, you say that. That's like me saying, like, lizards. Like, what kind of lizards? There's so many kinds of dogs.
Golden retrievers, labs. Every once in a while I can get into, like, a pug if they're cute.
Okay. I was going to say, for a minute there, you were saying the most basic kind of dog.
Corgis.
You're a
Never
corgi
mind.
guy.
I will put corgis above golden retrievers there. Corgis, I think, are the cutest dogs out there.
What?
What do you mean, what? They're
I'm not
adorable.
a big corgi fan.
Oh, my gosh. Stuart.
I like dogs with, like, the smushed in faces and the big rolls and...
You
I
like
love
the
bulldogs.
You like the little fat ones?
The little fat ones I love.
So you're a big fan of, like,
bulldogs, pugs.
but yeah, there's, like I said, there's some dogs are better than others. But yeah, it's man's best friend.
I mean, I'm not going to... No, I love dogs.
I've never had a dog in my life.
What?
Nope.
You put them at number 3 and you've never had a dog?
That should show you how much I love them.
Okay. I mean, I'll back this up. I like dogs. I love dogs. I've had dogs my whole life. I can get behind it. I like dogs. I freaking love dogs. Let's get this out of the way. Dogs are better than cats.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Don't. If you're listening, don't think that cats will be on this list.
They're not.
I like cats more than Stuart, but cats still will not be on this list.
We didn't throw them in at the worst, but
Yeah.
no. Yeah, don't expect that.
Cats just sit there and judge you,
Yeah.
thinking about how to ruin your day.
Mm-hmm. They only like to do things on their time.
Number 2.
Hippos. Hippos check every box, Ben. Cuteness. You look at a baby hippo before, they're freaking adorable.
They're very cute.
Even the big ones, it's like they're just so big and goofy and just, I'd love to hug them, but don't.
No,
don't.
those are pretty dangerous too.
Yes, and so we're getting to capacity for destruction.
They kill some people every year too.
Hippos are the most dangerous animal in the world. They kill about 500 people per year.
Yeah. And you do not mess with hippos.
Yeah, hippos are absolutely wild. They're just so crazy. Male hippo typically weighs around 3,300 to 4,000 pounds. That's absolutely massive. The largest hippo ever came from a German zoo. Guess how much it weighed, Ben?
10,000 pounds.
Yeah, you were really close. It's almost 5 tons, 9,900 pounds. Wow. That is huge. That's like 3 Honda Accords.
That's nuts.
And it's an animal.
That's a massive animal.
That's massive animal. But you would think, oh, these big old tubby animals can't do much. They can swim super well. They can also run like nobody's business. They can gallop at around 19 miles per hour. That's just a gallop.
That's horrifying.
That's really fast. Their top speed is closer to 30 miles per hour. For reference, during one of his world record sprints, Usain Bolt clocked in at a top speed of 27 miles an hour. Just over 27. And this, like, several ton animal can get up to 30. Usain Bolt's not getting away from this thing if it wants to get him.
Yeah, no, hippos are either the cutest thing or they're just horrifying.
Yeah, no. And then in terms of, so we got cuteness down, capacity for destruction. They're checking those boxes. Interesting facts about hippos. There's currently a population of around 70 wild hippos in South America. I don't know if you know this, hippos are not from South America. They're from Africa.
Yep.
So they're an invasive species. Do you know how they got there?
How'd they get there?
Notorious drug lord Pablo Escobar, on his estate, he had like pretty much a zoo. And so when the government and stuff took over his estate, he had hippos, and they did not know what to do with them.
That's
like, what
so
are you supposed to
cool.
do with hippos?
Yeah.
So now they've gotten out, and there's a population of about 70 of them in South America. There's nothing there that can stop a hippo.
No.
There's no... Even in Africa, there's not really natural predators. Mm-hmm. Like maybe a pack of lions could take down
Well,
a
I was
baby
gonna say,
one.
even
but
like single lions,
they wouldn't mess
like,
with a hippo.
Yeah, like leopards. Like there's most things in Africa like like you said, if they're like in herds and stuff,
They know not to mess with them.
But yeah, like like just don't mess with hippos.
No, yeah, you could maybe like a few lions could take down a baby hippo if it was like left alone. But you're taking on a big mom hippo or a big dad. No, that does not happen.
No chance.
Especially you go to South America, there's nothing there that's stopping even a small hippo.
What's a toucan gonna walk up and be like, oh yeah, I could take this thing on?
To give it a little peck. Yeah, no. So hippos are absolutely insane. They're adorable. I'd love to hug them, but they're so incredibly dangerous. They're so big. They're so fast. They can do everything. Jack of all trades. And usually the saying goes, master of none. No, they are master of all.
Number 1.
Monkeys. I love monkeys. I will, and I swear by this, I will own a pet monkey someday.
Why? That just sounds like a horrible plan. What about a monkey do you love so much?
It's so cute.
It's not.
Yeah.
Monkeys look too much like people for them to be cute.
That's why they're so cute.
That's weird.
And this is one where you talk about, you were talking earlier about, there's so many different kinds of dogs, or like there's so many different kinds of lizards. But all monkeys. You can go orangutans.
Their big droopy faces.
Yes. Oh, those are so cool.
You're just talking about like generally apes?
Sure, we can go. Yeah, we'll say apes, chimpanzees, primates, whatever you want to call them.
Okay, one, you're begging for fire with that, wanting to own.
Well, I don't want to own a silverback gorilla.
I wouldn't say, but chimpanzees.
Not even a chimpanzee.
You ever seen the lady on Oprah that got messed up by the chimpanzee?
Oh yeah. No,
disturbing. I was terrified of chimpanzees for a long time when I was young.
Not like I wouldn't want to own like a chimpanzee or like an ape, like a gorilla. But like a little, like one of those little like handheld, like the ones that are the size of, those are so cute.
The fun size?
Yes, the little fun size ones. You can just let it jump around your house all day. Put little hats on it. Dress it up in nice little cute clothes. Put it in like overalls and a t-shirt.
You want to treat it like a baby? What?
Yes, Stuart. I love monkeys so much.
I don't get this, Ben.
I know you don't, and I apologize. Monkeys are just the cutest. Silverback gorillas are like kind of freaky though.
Yeah, they're massive, and they'll rip you apart.
They
if they
will.
Want to.
They really will. Harambe, whew, that was a story.
People still talk about.
Yeah, that kind of changed the tide of the American culture that we live in today.
Dude, that was a big moment for us.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
Yeah, monkeys are one. Again, they're like, if we're getting back to animals that are smart, and they can be brutal. I don't want to be near a monkey.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it would have to be in terms of like owning a pet monkey. It would have to be something small, like something that couldn't physically harm me. And I'm sure even smaller monkeys could find a way. I'm sure they could
rip my finger off.
Yeah, they could start like biting me or something. But like in terms of like something that could, like I would never own something.
It's been top 10 with Stu and Ben, Animals Edition. The opinions you never knew you needed.
Next week, join us. We're gonna do top 10 cereals.
It's gonna be a fun episode.
That is gonna be a fun one. I already know what my number one pick's gonna be.
Okay, nice brag. The fact that you're ahead of me on this. But this has been Top 10 with Stu and Ben. Thanks for listening. Can't wait to see you next week for Top 10 Cereals.